Chair, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Indonesia has put effort in accelerating SDGs implementation in response to decade of action despite pandemic that reversed SDGs progress and exacerbated inequality and exposing more risk of the vulnerable. We were forced to apply distance learning methods that lead to disparities in learning outcomes and increased risk of learning loss. Pandemic has increased Indonesia proportion of out of school at junior high and elementary school levels by 4.9% and 4.6% respectively. We accelerate our education transformation through Merdeka Belajar or Freedom to Learn program by presenting freedom of curriculum, national assessment, and pioneer teaching program. Transformation of education fund for school operation assistance that is more equitable and expansion of the scope of various types of scholarship. Pandemic also has specific impact to women, increased unpaid care work, double burden of balancing productivity and household work, and gender-based violence. We have launched woman-friendly village and care for children that provides training for business women's group and involve women in financial budgeting planning and decision making at village level. Provided a dedicated call center to report violence against women and children who need special protection, and develop a system to monitor and track gender responsive budget allocation to reduce gender gap. Green and blue economy are also Indonesia's priorities to accelerate SDGs in addition to low carbon and climate resilience development agenda. Conservation and sustainable use of marine and terrestrial ecosystem will support its realization. Indonesia has carried out marine spatial planning by establishing 11 fishery management areas. In 2021, Indonesian marine protected area has increased to 28.4 million hectares from the targeted 24.2 million hectares. Sustainable use of fisheries is conducted through marine fishery production that does not exceed the total allowable catch and combating illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. We work with independent fishers insurance to protect more than 40,000 small-scale fishers. As a lung of the earth, Indonesia's forest cover area has increased to 50.9% of the total land area and has 24.24 million hectares of high conservation value areas. We established forest management units to safeguard biodiversity, support conservation of 25 priority species population that are included in the International Union for Conservation of Nature Red List Index, safeguard access to genetic resources and sharing of benefit from their use, eradicate invasive alien species, combat illegal poaching and trading of wild species, and support achievement of IC biodiversity target. Pandemic COVID-19 has given impetus to innovative financial instruments by operating SDGs Financing Hub as a platform to facilitate various innovative financing schemes from non-state actors, launching our first SDGs bonds and SDGs investor map in addition to Green Bond and Green Sukuk, finalizing integrated national financing framework roadmap to orchestra sources. Indonesia acknowledged that debt suspension service initiative has aided vulnerable countries to have fiscal space to respond to COVID-19 pandemic. Indonesia responds to COVID-19 through free, massive, and evenly distributed vaccines, lower prices of testing, telemedicine services, and integrated digital information database of COVID-19 have positive impact to economic recovery. Once dropped to minus 2.07% last year, Indonesia economy now grows to 3.69% and hopefully will continue. All efforts are supported by updating reliable data presented on SDGs dashboard and redesigning inclusive and sustainable economic transformation through digital infrastructure and broaden digital utilization. Now it's time for us to focus building a resilient and inclusive development with more collaborative action to ensure inclusiveness and no one is left behind. Indonesia urged the UN to first, drive regional and global cooperation initiative. Second, include all member states in the discussion and in negotiation to find solution for global crisis. Third, continue discussing and developing policy recommendation for common regional and global goods, particularly in pressing issues of access to COVID-19 vaccines, environmental protection, and climate change. And we should recover together with stronger collaboration. Thank you.